Right.
Can see, right?
Yes, can see.
Okay, so just a recap of some of the stuff we talked about last week.
Yep.
So the aim that we wanted was for our game to be a source of like stress relief and something that's entertaining but can also still keep you engaged. And the main inspiration was like designers, design students, like our classmates and what they did what they do in between classes and when they're taking a break from their work and stuff like that. So to start off, we did look at a few like articles about art psychology and can drawing really help the stress levels that you may face every day.
Okay.
So this I just summarized like some key points from some of the articles that we read.
Uh-huh.
So from this first article that was written in 2012, it one of the main things that they said was that if you were to draw something to express happiness, or if you were to draw something, even if you weren't trying to express an emotion through it, let's say you're just scribbling for the heck of it, you're just drawing like with no emotional attachment to it,
Mm-hmm.
it does help you to stay distracted and it keeps your mind occupied in a way that's better than if you were to draw something to release a negative emotion. Because
Right.
through the act of drawing to express that negative emotion, you are reminding yourself of that negativity. So in a sense, it kind of negates you trying to get rid of that sadness,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it also said that distraction is definitely a more effective way for you to enhance your mood and to be happier than to try to take away your sadness through the same methods. Yeah, so then this next paper was written in 2017, and this part I found very interesting because, as we said, our main aim was to eradicate stress and to make you happy, right? But one thing that this paper pointed out is that happiness and your stress, like your positive and emotions and your negative emotions, they don't exist on a linear scale, It's not like plus one minus one. So if if you were to do something to decrease stress, it's not going to make you happy. You may be more calm, but you're not going to be your mood isn't going to be like elevated. You're not going to be motivated to continue doing anything. You'll just at the most you'll be in a neutral state.
Interesting.
Yeah. So another thing that I found in this paper that was very important to what we are doing, because as the game that we want to create, it's a bit different from other drawing games where you draw objects and you guess the object. So this paper also looked at the difference between drawing something that would require you to think and have like some design thinking and create an image or something, rather than something that would require less thinking, for example, just coloring a picture. And it compared the two in a study, and they said what they found was that there wasn't really much difference between how that affected, like if you are drawing something, it can be a positive action. If you are coloring something, it's also a positive action. There's not that much difference. Like it's not that one of them is more effective than the other. So I think that's helpful because that shows that what we are doing is still something that can be a interesting and positive game without it having to be like you're drawing a picture of a house. And the last point I think is something that we definitely need to consider like down the line in the technicalities and in the testing phase, is that you do need to balance the challenge and the skill requirement of what you are doing. Because in their study, they did ask some people like, okay, draw a house. But then people wound up getting stressed out because they couldn't figure out how to draw a house. So you need to balance the like how challenging what you're doing is, but then at the same time, you can't make it something too easy, like draw a straight line either. Too easy, then you're just gonna get bored. But if you make it too hard, then you might get stressed out as well.
So okay. So as an overview, the if so stress level can be reduced, but it doesn't necessarily give you the satisfaction.
So rather, like basically what they considered at the end was that rather than you try and focus on getting rid of this stress, if you wanted your overall mental condition to be improved, it's more important that you raise the level of the positivity inside you.
Mm.
And then also it goes back to what was in the first paper that I talked about with like distraction.
Mm.
So like if you distract yourself with positive emotions, then you're not going to think about the negative emotions like the stress. as
Okay.
much.
Okay. So now, what does that? How is this connected to the drawing?
Basically he was talking about how drawing is drawing something, like for example, if you were to draw for expression, like outside of this game, they compared three different types of like three different intentions of people drawing, because you may draw something to make you happy, you may draw something that reminds you of something sad, and you may just draw for the heck of it. And drawing for the heck of it and also drawing to make you happy both had positive effects on the people that were studied.
So they have positive effects, but
Yeah.
so it doesn't necessarily reduce the stress level. So stress has got nothing to do with the positive effects.
Continue.
Yeah. I mean, I'm asking. So, so does that mean that the stress doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the positive effects as an outcome from these drawings, even if you're drawing for the heck of it?
It's just as long as you're not thinking about your stress when you are drawing.
Ah, I see.
As long as you don't sit down like, oh, I'm drawing so that I don't need stress anymore. But then in the back of your mind, your goal is still related to the stress, and from that you still have the stress.
So the stress, the awareness of the stress is unconscious. So they're not exactly conscious of it. But so which means you're channeling your objective to the action of drawing. Is that what it is? Can you hear?
Like this paper, I mean, it was quite complicated.
Okay. But what do you understand? That means it's possible to use drawing, and it's okay. Is that what you're saying? It's okay to create the I would say, to create the challenges. So but they will not be solely conscious of the stress of trying to go through the challenge, because their objective is really trying to overcome something. So maybe the act of overcoming something through the drawing could be the focus of the game.
Like basically what our goal of like the actions of what we have planned is something that is proven to be feasible. It's just that our intention behind it, like because our main intention at the start was, okay, let's reduce stress. So turns out that going about it that way wasn't a very good idea,
Okay.
So, like, the game itself is fine. It's just our reasonings for creating it kind of needed to be fixed.
Yeah. So good. There's some development here. I can see some new development. So now the next step is, do you have anything else to show?
Yeah, because actually like we split, like we did three different like components of our research topic based on the feedback that we gave last week. So actually I wanted to pass it on to Hanif now, because he did a survey.
Okay.
Yeah, because he wanted to see if people wanted to play or not.
Let's have a look.
Hanif.
Hello, sir.
Hi.
And this one is the survey one.
Okay.
So the first question is like, we ask people about the gender. So most of the like 56 respondents, the three of them are male, 58.9%. So next one, this one is the marital status. So between
Only 1.8?
Yeah, only like from the 56 respondents, right? Only like one of them like married.
But you didn't distribute the survey to married people, is it?
No, or you? Like, I just put it on like Twitter and so many like social network.
I see. So you just see what got back. Okay. So 1.8% are married. Okay.
Because I want to know like maybe like single people and many people how they like manage stress, how they like
I see.
stress.
Okay, good. Okay, what else?
So the next slide.
Mm-hmm.
So this one, most of them they are students. 47 of them are students and only like 16% of them are working. Next. So most of the respondents here, as we can see that like there are many response, right? So most of them like from the 16 to 20 years old. Only 2 of them like just kids, the 10 to 15. And also a big portion of them like from the adult, 21 to 25.
Interesting.
Yeah. So this one, we want to know like what drives a person to play a video game. Sometimes like of any genre, right? We want to know what's the reason for them to play. So this one is a multi-purpose. No, I mean like a question, but you can like pick so many answers, right?
Yeah.
So most of them they play the game of any genre for fun, fill up free time, and release stress. Only like small percentage like for the educational purpose. I was a little bit like shocked because I thought like the release stress will be like less, but as you can see, it comes like second. For fun is the first, and then the release stress is the second one. Then after that, the fill up free time.
Is there a connection between the stress and fun? Really stress and fun?
I mean like for fun here, like they only play like for fun.
Yeah. Do you think these two are connected? Really stress and fun? How do you know how is really stress connected to any of these? That means, is there a relationship between the stress, release stress, and for fun? Because the word release stress is a general term which can be adapted to any of the action. So fill up free time also is a general term, but they fill up free time by specific information. So there may be some specific actions that you're doing for fun, educational purpose. They're all quite general terms, but for fun also can be they're doing things for fun. But in this case, you put any genre of video game. But video games. That's right. So these are all connected to video games.
Yeah. Like, I want to ask them, like, in the past, you guys playing video games, like, what's the main reason that drives you to play the game?
Okay, I'm beginning to see it. So video games for fun, video games for free time, educational purpose, release stress. But release stress, the green bar and the red bar for fun, or do you think they're connected?
You mean like they're different?
Yeah, are they different or are they connected? Like,
not different.
They're different.
I mean, for fun, like some people, like just like me, sometimes I play the game for fun because like I have nothing to do. But sometimes like after like having so many assignments, I want to like to ease myself like mental, then I play the game. So that's what I mean.
Okay. So that means which means you are trying to say that releasing stress is a different thing compared to fun.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Next.
Oh, okay.
So this one is the first like for the drawing genre. Like, have a person ever played a drawing genre before, like in their life? So 30% of them said no. I was a little bit shocked because like as we can see the age, right? The age percentage, most of them like from 20 years old to the 25. So even like they're in their adult year, they never ever like played the drawing game before. So it means like maybe only like small percentage of them never play. Next. And it is the game that they play. Because some of them they say yes, right? So we ask them like, what kind of game do you play? So the most is actually is draw something, but this one like the word is cut. Actually, is draw something app. That is the game that most people play. Then the second famous one is the Scribble.io. Scribble.
Yeah, Scribble.io is popular as well.
Scribble.io popular, and also the draw something on the App Store, and then the draw it. Actually, there are so many. I mean, like there are so many drawing games in the market. Actually, even like some of these, I never heard of them. Like the Pico, the Fill the Cup 3D, the Telestrations, Love Ball, all the dictionary, and I never heard of them before. So to me, this is good lah. Later, like when we do our project, right, we have so many references, like
Yeah.
what kind of game that works for people. Next.
Okay.
So right now, I specify back what drive a person to play drawing games, because previously I asked them general, right, any genre. So right now I want to know, like, we want to know if you play like the drawing game, what's the factor that drive you? So most of them, they say that they're trying out the genre. Because of their curiosity, they want to try the drawing game genre. And second, after that, to fill up free time. So to release the stress, like only 8 people like think that playing a drawing game can release stress. Next. So we ask them also like what makes drawing game special according to people. So this is very interesting because of the freedom. Actually, this one is the freedom to express your creativity. Also, the people think that what makes drawing game like stands out from other genre is the freedom to express your creativity. And then the second is the simplicity of gameplay. Actually, like drawing game, it has no rules, right? Compared to chess or Monopoly. So that's what makes the game like very interesting to them. Next. So we asked those people who already like have it. So we asked them to, we asked the people who already have the experience, like, is the video game like the drawing effective in reducing stress? Most of them they say yes.
Did they say why?
Yeah.
Okay.
I go sample this.
Okay.
And
Go
then
on.
only like 41% maybe, and then the small percentage said no. Next. So these are the responses. I mean the written responses.
Alright.
Some of them say like drawing games is making people think of what they can actually do and how far their limit can go. That is why drawing game is one of the important games too. And it is based on the gameplay. So some people they think that it's based on the gameplay. If the gameplay is hard, you can get stress. If the gameplay is easy, it can relax, relieve stress. To me, some people also say like drawing game is a dull genre. Next. Everyone has their own ability and interest, so not everyone will love to draw. Sometimes drawing can make someone stressed too. Next. Some people think it's that idea. This one also like very like giving insight to us. I mean like how to make the game like works. You need the right people. When humor bounces off each other with the best interest of everyone involved, you can get much more satisfaction than playing with mere acquaintances with no points of shared interest. So this one like gives us some light, shed us some light like how to make the drawing games like interesting. Like if we see, it said like when humor bounces off each other with the best interest of everyone involved. So like when you play with your friends that you know like the game becomes more fun instead of playing with the strangers.
Yeah.
See, like previously from the pie chart, right? It shows like being able to express your creativity is the most like what makes this drawing game stands out. So this is what they comment is some drawing games are fun as you get to express creativity. However, some games like draw something has a time limit which can cause like slight stress. So like the drawing games can make like it is fun, you can express creativity but only if the rules are not that high. So even though like drawing games is fun, but if you put a time limit like the rules, it can make people stressful. Next. Someone who's having stress can relieve their own stress by drawing is because not everyone can express their stress in words.
This is good. Yeah.
Actually, there are so many. There are 12 slides actually. Are you okay if we just continue or you want to skip?
Just continue.
Okay. So this next. And so it's also interesting to me because it has this like kind of terms like drawing game is therapeutic. Games are therapeutic. So combining those two, drawing and games, are double therapeutic.
Hmm.
So this one can give us a hint about the later design of the game. Some
Plethora.
people say, yeah, like plethora color concept, like it's because people have a different taste, right? So give people a choice, maybe can make them more interested in the game. Next, next. See this one also like complementing the other by pie chart. Expressing your creativity, getting out of your own head, and focusing on something else for a few hours can really help reducing stress and anxiety. So this one, like you said, like they just give the response, right? And then this is the I mean the description, the way they tell why they think so. Next, that's all.
Hmm.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, so I present on the analysis of like similar games.
Hmm.
So the games here are just like games. We study the mechanics and the gameplay elements of these games that are similar to the elements in the idea that we came up with for our game. So we studied these to see how these games implemented these mechanics, and so we could just like compare them to how we implemented the mechanics in our game, and probably uh, rethink the implementation of these elements in our own game. So the first game is Pictionary, the one where you draw
Yeah.
and you have to guess the element of the game. So you play in like two teams, and a game generally lasts for like 30 minutes. So on how to play, each team takes turns like moving a piece. They roll the dice and then move a piece on the board, and then the space that you move your piece on will determine what you have to draw. For you team to guess, for the players to guess. So the thing about this game is you don't actually have to be good at drawing.
Right.
You just have to have a really good imagination when you're guessing the picture, and just like act the game then so that people know what you're trying to convey, you know?
Right.
The game mechanic is drawing, which is similar to our own game. And the category is a party game, so you can play with like a bunch of people. And the objective of this game is to be the first team to reach the last space on the board.
Yeah. This one does not focus on the drawing skill. It just focus on. I mean, that's what the game is all about. Just focus on ability to try to make somebody understand with whatever marks you try to make.
Yeah, so it really depends on the person you're playing with.
Cool.
And how the game will go. Okay, so next game.
Cool.
Okay, next game. This game actually has a lot of names. Like in the picture it said dot to dot, but the one it says dots and boxes. There's just like a bunch of names for this game.
Right.
The name I went with is dots and boxes. So there are generally two people play this game, and it lasts for like 15 minutes. But it can be longer depending on how long you take to think. So how you play this game is there is a grid of dots on a piece of paper, and both of the players take turns drawing one line each, connecting two dots together.
Right.
So the aim of these lines is to draw them into a square, and then once you finish a square, you claim that square as your own. So each player tries to claim as many squares as possible, and whoever has the most squares by the end of the game wins. So it's kind of similar to our game in the sense that you're trying to cover as much of the grid as possible. Yeah.
Line drawing.
Yeah.
Okay.
The next game is Blockers.
Yeah, I like Blockers.
Is how to say the name.
Yeah, I've played this before. This is good.
This game is for 2 to 4 players. I think the playing time just varies depending on who's playing. So you start from the corners of the board. You have 21 pieces. Each player has 21 pieces, and you have to take turns putting each piece on the board with the aim of putting down as many pieces of your own as you can on the board. But the thing is, when you put a piece down, the next piece you put down will have to join corners with a piece you already put down on the board. So that's the rule of the game. You have to connect the corners of your pieces. And yeah, the thing about this game is when someone else puts a piece somewhere, there's a possibility that you block off the corners of your piece as well, so you can't put your piece there. So you have to like really think about where you're putting your pieces and stuff. So whoever puts the most pieces on the board wins, basically. Whoever has the least pieces by the end of the game wins.
Excellent.
Yeah. So the last game we studied is Zuro. It's for 2 to 8 players. The way you play is that there's a board and there are tiles with a bunch of lines on them. So you put down one tile with lines on it, and you move a token that you have according to the lines on the tile.
You know, this one, there's an app for this game as well, right? I think they have an app. They have an app version of this. Because it looks so familiar. Okay, never mind. Yeah.
So you put down the tile, and you and the other players take turns putting down tiles and moving your token along the lines on the tiles. When you put down the tile, the lines have to connect. So the goal of the game is to keep your token on the board as long as possible. So if you collide with another player or your token ends up following the line off the end of the board, then you're out of the game. So the thing about this game is there are many lines on one tile. There's not just one line. So you putting down a tile can also affect other players as well. Like it could be to their advantage or to their disadvantage.
Right.
So you really have to think about the tile you're putting on the board while you play. And yeah, that's it.
Very good. Wow. Wow, just give me one moment, yeah? This is a lot to take in. Fantastic. Just give me one moment. Okay, so what's next is okay, so what's next is you need to analyze analyze something. So what have you done some initial analysis of what you've got?
Oh,
Okay, like what you have there, right? For example, it might turn to share screen. Let's see. Hang on, yeah. Okay, let's see. Screen. Okay, can you see this? Oh, you can't see it. Can you all see?
Blank screen.
Blank screen, yeah.
Because the thing is blank or because
You see a white box like that?
yeah.
Oh, okay, so that means you're looking at my sketchbook. Okay, can you see this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Right, so now the thing now is you have all this data, right? So you have all that information, like from your stats, and there's all the responses from, like, all those responses from all the information that you got, all these responses. Yeah, now what you need to do now is you need to, like, circle some important key terms, identify these, and then you need to put them in some kind of table. Okay, you put them in some kind of table. Let's say what you need to identify specific objectives. Now, what are you looking for in your gameplay? What are your objectives for your gameplay? One, they need to be happy playing it, right? They need to be happy playing it, or for example, right, let's say they need to be happy playing this. The other objective is it needs to be easy to understand. Okay, and then you have, what else? Maybe another objective. It needs to be challenging. So happy, challenging, and all these three is definitely stress relieving. Okay, now, so with these three objectives, you have to identify the key terms which contributes to any of these words. So you're encoding your coding, like the word happy. Like, okay, for example, now here is your open responses, and maybe sentences that they have given you, and some of the other sentences they have given you. Okay, and other sentences they have given you, and so on. Now the next column is here is say initial categories. Say category, say one specific.
Stuff from the survey lah.
What?
So like just organize all of the data.
Yeah, the like for example, identify the words that goes into specific category. Let's just say these words go into this category. Okay, those words goes into this category, things like that. What words go into this category, what words go into, from the responses of the people, or from your survey. And then you have your final category. Okay, so this final category will be the final version. Can you recategorize these into what are these? So you recategorizing this. So this one will be your final category, and this final category contributes to your main objective. So you need to identify what is it. So this is one way you can analyze this, because you need to analyze to see, for example, like some of them say that you can't express without words. So ability to express. So for example, one of the important keyword is expression, right? And then fun factor, maybe what is really specifically in fun factor, happiness. So expression, happiness. So you need to identify specific objectives and identify this data. Look back at your data and see what are the common responses and things like that. So then categorize them. So then you have something specific to work with. So this one, your next step after that is you already have your game objective. So this game objective based on data that you collected. Initially, before you got your data, you already have your initial objectives, your initial problem questions and things like that. So then you've done your data. Now you have to identify and analyze it a little bit and finally come up with three key objectives. Depends on you how many you want, but don't keep your objectives too many. Maybe 3 key objectives or 2 key objectives would be good. So this one will be the summary of your game. So then what is this going to be? Now this is just about objective, but in terms of gameplay, look back at your data again, and you have done like Hannah mentioned about some similar games, and from Hanif's data collection, he has a range of games that people have played, which is all drawing games, and you notice that there's 1 or 2 games that is probably more popular than the others, but bear in mind that this is the extent of your data collection. This is not you're not looking at 1,000 people's responses. So you can also look at the data from other people, what other people have obtained about those popular games. Like for example, if you've seen according to your data that where say Draw It is very popular, and the other one was Scribble.io, right? Is also equally popular. Then are there any references that has or reviews about these 2 particular games that probably surpasses others? So you can look at other statistic source and try to extract information there, and that can reinforce your reason to choose a specific gameplay style, or to develop a gameplay style. So by looking at that, you're also looking at the gameplay style which is largely has positive responses. For example, drawing lines from one point to one point does not require skill. So if from the data you notice that, people who drawing from scratch may be a little stressful, but maybe just joining the dots may not require skill after all. So how many of those games have similar things, but people still enjoy Draw It? Because why? What's the difference? So if that one also doesn't require skill, so how do you understand that as doesn't require skill as opposed to some games which require skill? But Draw It is not exactly very stressful because it's you tend to laugh at the pictures that each people draw with each other. So maybe the key is the multiplayer element that made it enjoyable. But so you got to find out what is it that doesn't put emphasis on skill. So maybe not to say it doesn't require, but no emphasis on skill. So no emphasis skill will probably contribute to, okay, your gameplay definitely point number 1, no emphasis on skill. All right, so that works. And then the same way, you got to identify what is it what gameplay style is probably the most popular one. Then once you've already identified all that, only after that you have to find what is the new thing that you can introduce as an added value to this game that will make your game original. So what is that new thing that you can introduce, okay, to add on to this? Because you've already looked at everything, and also you would have also identified a specific thing that is missing from all that as well. So like, even if some of those games are very, very popular, but what do you think is missing? What could have been made better? So that the key to that response is to look back at the comments, at the narratives that people have said. Why some, and you did mention in some of the things that you said, if they have made suggestions, if they made some specific suggestions, if you introduce colors, you make the gameplay even interesting. So what do you mean by introduce colors? Does that mean that you're introducing color stamp, color blocks, or color, something, whatever. So that would be something for you to think about. Now overall, I think what you all did is a very, very good approach, and I'm pretty sure that you should be very close now to identify, to sort of like close to putting this together as a specific design. Now as far as design ideas is concerned, now you realize one thing. What do you think you realize now? And Kyra, you mentioned something very interesting. You realize that now that your initial designs have to be rethought, correct? Hello? Hello? Kyra, you there?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. But
Okay. Your mic is kind of lagging, I guess. Oh, okay, okay. Don't worry. As long as you can hear me. So, Kyra, you mentioned you said your initial ideas have to be rethought about, right? After looking at all this data, correct? So now you need to maybe think about maybe 4 different iterations or 5 different iterations of a possible framework or possible ideas. Now, maybe before you even go to the idea, or within the idea stage, you can think about framework 1, framework 2, framework 3, framework 4, framework 5. So what does this mean? That means like framework 1, okay, so here is maybe it's a circular format or circular, this is just a concept, right? So one circle, then it's just an example, okay? Then start over here, end over here, and then there is something that gives a division, so and so on and so forth. So this goes here, this one goes here, this one goes here, and then this one goes here. Obstacles over here, obstacles over here. So you have, this is one framework of a gameplay. So you can color code the arrows or whichever. Frameworks can come in many different ways. So some can be like almost flowchart like, some can be like this, here, this, then here, then like that, so you have having gameplay frameworks, you plan the gameplay frameworks before you put in the aesthetics. So you always start off kind of like abstract. So what would be needed here? Where's the interactive element? don't. So you might also think about, this is no non-narrative, I suppose. I think the narrative element doesn't quite come into play here. This is more like gameplay element. So what you're focusing on is more of a gameplay framework. Okay, a game framework. Now, I think then after that you come up with maybe a number of iterations of this framework. So that is easier to do if you want to come up with 5 different framework. But you got to decide. So you got to decide. You got to start off by looking what's missing, analyzing your data and infusing what is needed to address the needs of the general audience, the sample audience that you think would need. So that's why this data collection is so important, because you need to know who the users are. You need to know who your audiences are, because whatever you're designing is for others to play. So it's important to also test the framework. So like, let's say if the framework that you come up with, kind of like after you've discussed on your frameworks, then you may have come up with something more like a rough structure of your game. Let's say your structure is kind of squarish, all right, like this. Let's say it becomes this. Then would it require dice? So would it require dice? Do you need to throw it? And then you take a pen and draw a line from here to here or something like that. Okay, so if so you have this and you start playing it among yourselves first. Try to play it and throw the dice, and then okay, your turn, next person. So each person has a pencil or some kind of pen. Okay, so they take turns, and what happens after that? So you need to start playing the game just to determine, then, and so on and so forth. So if you think that gameplay kind of works, okay, then try to get feedback, possibly from the very people who have given those feedback, or just decide who do you think can play the game with you guys. Okay, so that's why in this pandemic, maybe next week by next week you should be able to get one rough version of it, like this, like more like a very rough one, and we could try to play it. Okay, and let's see how others try to play it eventually. Yeah, we could try to play it, and then between next week and the following week, you get at least spend one time in that week to try to get others to play it, and then collect some information and some observations on that. Am I making sense? Yeah. So I think you guys did really great here. I'm really pleased. So hang on. Okay, before I show you that, any questions? Any questions, guys?
I don't think so.
No?
None for now.
Okay, so good. So Hanif, Hannah, and Kara, well done. Good development there, good progress. I think you're on track. So maybe by next week, like you said, Kyra, I think we can start to use the tabletop. On tabletop itself, we need to interact with a rough abstract version of this, so we'll be able to demonstrate how it actually works. Yeah. Right. Okay, you guys are finished. Phoebe, the other group. Phoebe and gang, Jessica and gang. Phoebe, Ridu, Tabitha, and Jessica. 4 of you. Your turn. Just start share. You want to share?
Now share.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Watching it.
Okay.
Okay. Any new developments?
Last week you asked us about. We added more for the game. We added the categories and the words,
Good. Okay.
but
Ex-
it's still rough idea.
Okay.
Last week you asked us to share what the inspired game that are from our game.
Uh-huh.
It's from this game. It's using fingers like a children game. It uses categories and alphabet. So
I see.
it's a simple game for children. So yeah. Okay, and then last week you also asked us about why use a board, and I said it's from this game, the privacy game, which this is the picture. It uses this board, and the board is only used for indicating score, like that only.
I see. Okay.
As I know that it's the research is still not a lot, still less.
Okay. What's the other one?
This is another add-on.
Uh-huh.
It's like only a little part. It uses like 3 cards every round, like that. So I got it's like a little part, but I got inspired from that game.
Joking has it. Now, what are these 3 games? What are these 3 games? Each game are very different.
Yeah. It's like on the major like what it like the topic is inspired from is the ABC 5 dasar that one. It's like that's the we take from that game and we think like, oh, can we make it a game, like a card game, a board game or something
I see.
like that.
So, Lima Dasa is for younger players or for
Yeah,
everybody?
that's for usually played by kindergarten,
I see.
like to learn like vocabulary, alphabet.
Is it educational?
Yeah, it is. It's like
Hello.
Hello?
every round you need to tell like what, like for example the category fruit, you need to say what fruit begins with F. Like that.
Ah. Okay. Now, the second game, the privacy game, that one is played
only-
by mixed audience or mixed age?
For me, like age is I think
Adult party game.
yeah, it's a
provocative.
party game.
So this is
Yeah.
interesting. Finally get answers to provocative questions. Wow.
Yeah, it's like
Wow. Players anonymously
game.
answer outrageous.
You need to say like
Ew.
yeah.
I kind of like this because I think this will be very popular.
As the title says, it's a privacy. So
Yeah.
usually for truth game, you need to say it
Yeah.
yourself, but this one is
Yeah.
using voting. Like the system is voting, so you
Yeah.
you don't know who's telling the truth, but
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. I kind of guess that's probably how the game is roughly played. And that's the suspense of it.
yeah.
So the next game that you're showing, that one is a card game. You compete your friends
Just
for a
small
full
part.
trip.
It's not really.
To finish an
This
awful
game is,
trip.
it's to make a 3-panel comic from the card.
Okay. Very interesting kind of games here. And your intention is to Okay, basically you're studying first. Okay, you're studying these
Yeah.
games first. Now, which one do you think you want to focus on to focus on? The privacy game or the joking hazard? Obviously, who are your intended players? You're creating a game for which age group? Is it for children? Is it for adults? Is it for young adults?
Our game.
Yeah,
For our game, I think all age.
all age. Okay.
It's
So
like, it's not matured yet. It's only like this
Okay.
one is only that I found like the game and I got inspired from.
okay, so if it's for all ages, then chances are ABC Dasa is out, privacy game is out, so it has to be joking hazard, right? So you might want to focus on joking hazard, right?
No, like this one, the 5 one.
The 5 Dasa one. Why 5 Dasa one?
This we are focused on this one. This
Why?
one is only for the component.
For what? For children.
For the like component like why you use the board because of this game. Why you use 3 cards because of this game.
For this guy, for this game. So the the 5 Dasa, is it so you need to find out more about 5 Dasa. You need to find out its origins.
Yeah.
So it looks like you got a website there. You can read more about it. And have you guys played this among yourselves, the 4 of you? You can play this online, right? Because you can just have to show your fingers on the screen. Is it possible to play this online? Can you make this as a game for all ages? So you want to maybe make 5 Dasa as a game for all ages, but you're not replicating 5 Dasa. You're supposed to design your game, but you need to find a problem with 5 Dasa. The 5 Dasa, maybe I'm just guessing, maybe the problem with 5 Dasa is not, it's just it's still too childish in this base game. But if your intended group of players is supposed to be all ages, then maybe there's something that needs to be changed. But the question is, what needs to be changed, and what is the problem with this game? What's missing from this game? So you need to get some historical information about this game and reconnect back to your ideas. So from what you're saying, you must know a lot about this game. Do you? I mean, what about the rest of your team? Tabitha, if your mic is still problematic, you can type in your answer. BB and Redo, your thoughts?
No.
Yes, Tabitha. Yes, Tabitha.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay. Sorry. No, I disconnected.
It's okay.
Okay.
Okay, no worries. Okay, I'm looking at it again. Okay, so I'm looking back at your screen. So yeah, so now yeah, so where are we going to go with this then? Your teammates, are they responding? Do they want to respond about anything?
Hello?
Yes, Jessica.
Hello? Okay, hi. Sorry, I can't hear.
That's okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
What's the question?
So the question is, and does your group is your group going to respond to anything, or is this all that you have for now at the moment?
Hello.
This.
That's all. So that's all you have for the moment. I think the connection is really.
Can you hear me?
I couldn't hear you, Tabitha.
Hello.
Hello, Tabitha. Now I can hear you.
Yeah.
If talking through the mic is difficult, you can type in your answer, Tabitha. Wow, this is quite
It's so hard.
yeah, I know it can be a bit frustrating. Don't worry, relax. Just have to tell Tabitha that she can just type her answer and ask her to maybe use
Yeah, she's like,
yeah, she can type the answer, and she can use a better mic, use one of those phone the phone, you know, the headphones.
she said her Discord is a bit of problem. Her Discord only.
Discord lah. Only Discord having problem, is it? What about, but Zoom is fine.
Yeah, Zoom is fine.
I see using phone and laptop. I see both.
Yeah.
Oh, Tabitha's using both. Maybe she can use one source only. Maybe one version.
She mentioned like if one disconnected, then use the other.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, like that.
Oh dear, the connection is so bad, eh? I didn't realize that. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. So maybe Jessica, maybe you'd explain about the board, right? Yeah. Okay. So what about the board?
Last week you asked us about why we use the board.
Yeah.
We put here, it's our reason, like to support the game, to
Okay.
make the game finish, and then 24. And then we found from an article,
Mm-hmm.
it's like a board is a project management. It's like to accomplish a goal efficiently. So this is what Tabitha found. So she said like as we understand the board can help us to set our goals and train our time management. And we try to find what you said last week about board game make player lost interest. I can't find it. Like I can't find where it's from. So ta-da. Hello. Oh, it's disconnected.
Oh dear.
We need to put a lot of research so we know that.
Yeah, I think what's missing here is you're unable to support your design. So okay, let's say if you're designing a game, you need to support your design with you need to support your design with research support. So I think it's lacking a bit of research support. That means you
Still try to find like we're still trying to find like what's the creator which uses the board, like why they decide to use the board, that kind of thing.
yeah.
But like some of the games that I use board is like they didn't specify why, like how they develop this game. They didn't tell the story about it. They just tell it to everyone and just that, and then this is the way they play it like that. They didn't explain how they develop from maybe an idea to finished product. So yeah, we still trying our best to find
Yeah.
research about this. Yeah. So sorry.
No, don't worry. Okay, let me just share my screen now.
Okay. I understand.
See. Okay. Very simple. Now, if I wanted to tell you a story, if I wanted to say, if I wanted to make things, okay, let's just say there are five players, and each player has to have 5 cards. Okay, so 5 players and 5 cards. Now the game is, each of these cards have different symbols. So you have different symbols, you know, so you got, so each symbol is representing the player. Okay, so what do I need to do with the 5 symbols? What are the 5 players going to do with the symbols? Because each symbol is representing them. Then the next thing I need to think about is, right, where are they going with these symbols, and how are they? Because I'm just saying, I told them, okay, you have 5 cards, 5 symbols, each symbols represent you, but one person must be the winner. So if one of you becomes the winner, how do you win? What do you need to do to win? Do you need to defeat other players? Yes. But how? Defeat with what? You know, what's the purpose of it? Okay. So it's hard to imagine, right? You really cannot imagine it. So because you're unable to imagine it, so what would be the best thing to do if you can't imagine it? You draw a platform, and then you say, okay, this is how it is. Now the first card player, you will be here, okay, and you will be over here, you will be over here, you will be over here, and you will be over here. All right, so then, so which means that this one goes here, this guy goes here, this guy goes here, this guy goes here, this guy goes here. So now there's something here, something else. There's something very interesting right in the center here. Okay, now this is called the arena. I call it the arena, right? So this is the arena. Now why I'm telling you that this is the arena, because I drew a platform, I place the player in their positions, and I show them a place where the challenge can happen. And in order for the challenge to happen, one player must go here and invite one of these players to challenge this player, and they challenge this player using what? Something maybe like dice. So I say, okay, so you use a dice. There are 2 dices here. So we use this dice, we called it the battle dice. So I drew a platform, I told these players this is what will happen, but why you need to put the players on a platform, that is totally, well, up to me, because in this platform there are zones, and if you're in this zone, and this zone, this zone gives +5 power, this zone gives +3 power, this one +10, this one +7, this one +1, unfortunately. So each turn they will move to different zones and battle it out and things like that. So then they understand, I get it. So now I guess the person who comes to this zone stand a higher chance of winning. So now this is why a board is created, because you want to give an illustration. You want to give an illustration. Sometimes illustrations are not necessary. If they do not involve dices, or maybe they don't involve zonings, they don't involve any kind of narrative, any kind of story, then you don't need a board. You just need cards. Maybe it's just a card game. Maybe it's just a card and dice game. Even dices don't need boards. But you know, so there I've seen games that just rely on pieces. There's no board whatsoever. And the game's design is such that you can play that game anywhere, anytime, even on a plane, anything. So some games would require a board, which you can't just open up a board game and play just anywhere, right? So you have to decide. You have to make up your mind. What do you want? What is your game dependent on? If your game is heavily dependent on virtual environment and you want some kind of immersive experience, then you need maybe an artificial place, a world building. World building is necessary. So this is important. This is the heart of adventure games. The last when we talked about, you're supposed to talk about sample adventure games Monday, right? It's coming Monday. So the adventure games that you like. So now here, this is the case. But if you want a real challenge, more like straightforward challenge and gameplay emphasis, then you don't need world building. You just need some kind of, you need a system. You need a gameplay system. That's all you need. Here you need world building, here you need a system. So you have to decide what you want to have. Now I'm not saying that card games are not immersive. They can be immersive, but card games are largely experiential. They're both experiential, but card games are a lot more experiential. They're a lot more interactive because you interact with players a lot more. Now, interacting with players is also the heart of this as well. It's very important, okay? But this is also very important. But here you're also interacting with the world. Here you're interacting with people. Maybe you must see which one emphasizes what. So you need to, into the ideation phase right now, I think you already have to start to have some kind of abstract framework that you can roughly play with. So what I would expect your group to have next week is already some kind of rough, like what I just mentioned to Kyra and team, that you should have something like a very rough framework already. Now I know you've shown something before, but now that you've done a little bit more study, maybe you haven't done enough study, but I think you need to do more discussions concerning how you can support some aspects of your design here, because you have to understand a design is based on problem statements, is based on user feedbacks, because you're designing for players, you're designing for users to interact with your game, and you have to find out what makes it interesting for the user. So that's the reason why you need to do some study on existing games, existing board games. That's the reason why you did your game history. And when you did your game history, I think it should give you some ideas there too, because every user have different stories. So from the stories they tell you, you can identify needs, you can identify reasons, you can identify problems too. Okay, and look, I think you can also watch lots of YouTube videos, watch those documentaries and find out, you know, because those documentaries are made with a lot of data, lots of research. So it's good to watch game design documentaries and find out how what's the reason behind, what's the meaning behind any game design, you know. So I guess this is what I leave this with you now, Jessica and team. So I hope that I could see something a little bit more developed in terms of your design. So you got to make up you got to decide, do you need a board or do you not need a board? Right, Jessica? Hey, Jessica.
Hi. Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry, I'm recording this. Everything here has been recorded, so I'll upload it. I'll also upload Monday's one. Yeah. Any questions? Is there anything you don't understand? Phoebe, are you following?
Yeah.
Okay, do you have any questions, Phoebe?
For now.
Okay. You guys are keeping in touch, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Redo. Hey, Redo. Yeah, maybe his computer is on, but he's not there.
Is it?
Oh, okay. You are there. Yeah. So, were you listening in? Were you listening in?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Okay, so I leave. Can I leave this with you now, Jessica? Is there anything else you want to add or explain to me? Princess?
Hello. I can't hear. I half of it, so it's a bit hard.
Yeah.
Mm,
All right.
can I ask you in person, like last week when I asked about the blog thing?
The blog thing.
Yeah.
Ken?
I'll ask privately again.
Okay. All right. Afterwards. After this. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Ken. All right. So I think all right. Now I'm just going to share another thing with you all. I'm going to stop. Oops. Oops. Just now. Sorry, I disconnected myself a bit. Okay. Let me share one more screen. Right. So I've shared this with you guys in the FB group. You all can see my screen, yeah? Okay.
Yeah,
Can okay, cool. So now for now, at this point, your group task, your design document, currently you're in the early stage of the documenting your research, your findings, and coming up with your framework. So I think you definitely think Kyra and team I've already updated this. So at this point, I can safely say you are definitely getting there. All right. So I put in 8 for now, but I think next week you should come up to about this level over here. So Kyra in team. All right. So I'm just using Hannah's. So Hanif.
Yes, sir.
Hanif.
Number
Yeah.
6. Number 6.
Oh, yours number 6. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. So yours, exercises wise, you're still not showing any of your gameplay review just yet. But here you're also around 8 for now. So you expect you guys to reach up to this level, maybe at the earliest, or still moving towards 10. Okay. So then here, Kyra, yes, around 8 too. Oh, sorry, 8. Okay. So here, in terms of exercise, Kyra is a little higher. Okay, because she's done 2 game reviews, so giving her an extra point for doing 2 videos, and she's already done the 3rd video, which I'm going to see. So I expect to see some write-ups on your game reviews, and she's also posted her ePortfolio link here. So I expect everybody else have not done that yet. So I expect you guys to do this by next week. Post your ePortfolio link here. Everyone, yeah. So okay. So now after having done that, your leaderboard, wait, hang on, Hannah. Okay, Hannah, your exercise. Yeah, so you haven't done any review yet. Hang on, Hanif also haven't done any review, right? So sorry, Hanif, you're going down. You done one,
Yeah, but I so embarrassed to share with you.
Why are you embarrassed?
No, I mean like so chaotic lah.
Yeah, you have to show. Okay, so everyone.
Then if you think yours are chaotic, you should see mine.
I mean the name
Oh,
you
you haven't seen mine yet. Oh my gosh. So anyway, so just do it. Put it in your ePortfolio and put your link here and have a look. All right.
Yeah. And this week I will upload.
Yeah. So good. So you all can access this. I'm sure there's no problems. It should be easy to just input your scores at these areas here. Hang on a sec. One moment, please. Okay, so just put your scores around these areas here, only at the place where you need to input the scores, so you don't have to touch anything else. Okay, everything else will be auto calculated, just like here. So let me refresh this and see if there's any new things. No. Yeah, looks like Kira's the only one who leveled up at the moment, who ranked up. So all this, I want all these things to change, because I want a good excuse to give you more XPs. So at level 1, everyone is still at 200 XPs. Kira has gone up to 600. But I think today, what I haven't done yet, you guys have. Okay, because of good development today, so I'm giving you guys additional scores. And yes, Jessica showed something there. All right, so good response, Jessica. And the others, I need more of your responses. Hopefully I can see she's done that. She's representing the second group. Okay, Jessica is representing you, and I think I can appreciate Tabitha and Jessica has done some work on this. But I need, okay, I'll just give an extra for you guys. I need you guys to respond more, and show me that you guys are working more with each other. Then it'll be more convincing. So post your e-portfolios, at least you can show me some evidences there. Yeah, so everyone, okay, not just one group, everybody. So that's one way to, so that I won't even doubt myself. So I want to make sure that you guys rank up. So still not enough to rank up the rest of you, so you need to just do a little bit more, and then should be good. But I think for the input side, I still can't put additional scores, but I hope by next week, maybe by Monday, after you have presented your, the thing about your adventure story, your analysis on adventure stories. So if you're not too sure what that is, look at the notes called adventure. It's a PDF file under the notes section. I know, I'm sorry if you did not see, if you've seen an older version, Kyra has notified me, so I've already replaced that file. So you can actually look at that and look at the last slide, and that's the task for your one of your exercise tasks. So I hope to hear from everyone about it. Now I can also understand the internet connections. Tabitha, I know you're struggling in that, so maybe while you work that out, what you can do is post your e-portfolio. So the best solution here is update your e-portfolio for game studies, and at the very least I could see your presentation there. And one other way to go around this is do a video of your presentation yourself, okay, and post that video of your presentation there, and put your slides also in your e-portfolio. So in case live session you have connection problem, delays, lagging, at least I have it there. So you may be able to hear me, but it's hard for you because of internet connection, so at least you can hear my feedback. Yeah, so let's try to work this way. If live is very difficult, then, I mean, in terms of using a mic or whatever, that's for everybody else. Yeah, then do something asynchronous, so that a pre-recorded thing, so you're prepared just in case these things not working. Then during the live session I can actually watch your presentation and I got it right. So which means that is one way for you to get updated. So that's the workaround for it. So yeah, so there's always a way, guys. All right. So so at this point, that's your scores at the moment, and currently currently this is the only thing that we are looking at. Hey, why Hannah is still there? Sorry, Hannah. Wait. Your scores are not showing. Oh, there must be a glitch. So I will sort that out. Yeah, don't worry, Hannah. I'll sort that out so you can check it later. Okay, if you all have any questions?
So
Yes.
from Eddie.
Eddie messaged me.
Yeah, like he messaged us and then he goes, "Oh, my laptop is fixed now." But then today he's not here either. So
Yeah, beats me, man. He keep making me guess about the situation. I replied his message. He said sorry I'm delayed and whatever. But I said yeah, I said just please keep me informed, but I don't know, man. So I got no answers. I don't want to jump to any conclusions
It's
either.
very like it's not that we want to exclude him from anything.
I
but
know,
very
I
hard to
know.
exclude him as well.
I know. But you need to move forward. You don't. Yeah, just move forward. All right. Because you don't get yourself weighed down by certain situations. So here your attendance is. Okay. There you go. Redo. Hey, redo. Now where did he go? Hey, redo, you there? Thank you, Hanif. I was just about to put that in as well. Okay, redo, that's the code, yeah? You got 7 minutes to put it in. I won't adjust it back. Okay, if you guys have already taken your attendance, alright, redo. Your internet is lagging, so just type in. I think what I've advised Tabitha, same applies to you, redo. You need to maybe record videos of your responses for your presentations or anything like that. Post it in your e-portfolio. So make sure your e-portfolios, guys, important. I want all those links in your rubrics, okay? And start recording your reviews for games, tabletop games or digital games, you know, once a week, right? Or every 2 weeks once, at least some quality reviews. All right, so look forward to seeing more of you guys in videos at least, right? So I think that's all I have to say for now. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. So Friday is my gameplay day. Usually Friday afternoons, when in campus, I used to have, you know, we all used to go to cyber cafe and play after class session or during class session. We have a short session and then we go to the cyber cafe and we play Paladins or something, you know. But unfortunately, the pandemic, yeah, it really sucks. I wish there was a multiplayer that all of us can play together. But I know the internet connection is really tricky, so that's okay. But we can share our gameplays, so that's why the game reviews would be quite nice to watch. So record it on your own and upload it to YouTube, then put your links in your e-portfolios so we can all watch it together and respond and whatever. Now I will post my gameplay page in the group, so you can also respond to my gameplay and feel free to critique as well. I'm pretty new at recording gameplay videos myself. Yeah, someone my age. All right, so thanks guys for joining. Good to see all of you. You have a good weekend. You're done for the session, so if you can leave the meeting unless if you have questions. See you, Hanif.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hey Hanif, Steam has got some very nice sales now.
Yeah, I just bought the Little Nightmare.
Little Nightmare?
Yeah.
Little...
Yeah, I keep getting notifications like, oh, something on your wish list is on sale, and I'm like, hey, you
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I also getting that notifications all the time.
I bought the Little Nightmare, the Hades, and the Among Us. Later I review.
Okay. Review. I want to hear from you. So then maybe I can get it too. Yeah. Are they multiplayer?
Which one?
The Little Nightmare and Among Us is multiplayer.
It's the single player.
Hey wait, Among Us is that game where you play in the phone, right?
Phone and then desktop also can.
Oh, desktop also can. Hey, actually all of us can play Among Us.
Yeah, can.
Hey, that's a good idea. Is
I think it's fun.
Among
to guess the imposter.
Among Us is on Steam, is it?
Yeah.
But it's also on phone, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's free, but you have to pay on PC.
Hey, this is interesting because a few of my students in the foundation, they suggested this multiplayer game. But is there a limit to the number of people who play this?
No, it's like tabletop. If like a room, then people can join.
Ah.
I've yet to play it because I don't have enough friends to play with.
You got one now. you got 8 people here to get so far. So maybe
come next week after lecture we all play.
Can. Jom.
Yeah, next week.
Can. No problem.
And also the Hades. Have you like played the game, sir?
Hades.
Yeah. It's a hack and slash.
All right. This looks like Diablo.
Yeah. But it's very interesting. IGN gives 9 out of 10. Something like that.
And